be true? Could we be seeing virtual currency microtransactions coming to WWE 2K22 when it releases? Let's break down the latest news and rumors right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Assemble. I'm Matt. Great to have you here on the show. Today we are talking about the latest rumors. WWE 2K22 microtransactions apparently are going to be coming to the game, much like they do for NBA 2K22. Let's break down this coming from Viking Size Gamer right now. Viking Size Gamer posted on Twitter the other day saying the following, quote, a WWE 2K CDN hosted by 2K Sports is publicly accessible and shows illustrations and 3D renders for VC in a folder labeled 2K22/store. Purchases in WWE 2K22 look like they're heading the NBA route with virtual currency available in bulk up to $450,000, which is roughly worth $100. So here's the big question to all of you. What do you think about microtransactions, virtual currency making its way potentially in a much bigger way in 2K22? Can it hurt the franchise? Can it be our worst nightmare, like a lot of people think out there, of having microtransactions in the game, putting stuff behind paywalls? I think it depends on how 2K actually does this. Let's take a look for a second at NBA 2K and how the virtual currency works over there. On the NBA 2K support page talking about virtual currency, NBA 2K actually says the following: virtual currency can be spent in many game modes, including My Career for apparel, signature animation packages, and more. My Team for opening packs and more, and My GM. The reason why I wanted to highlight this is because it could signal the direction WWE could be going with 2K22 and the way 2K could be going with the franchise overall. If they're trying to mimic the model or get very close to the model of that of NBA, we could see certain things being used for virtual currency. Things like they do in NBA could be mirrored with that of 2K. We could be getting things like superstar attributes being put behind virtual currency. So if we want to be able to get our character, our player actually in My Player, My Career mode built up even further, they probably would be utilizing the virtual currency to build up their stats faster if you wanted to do that, or grind it out and not have to pay anything and just grind to get your superstar built up a little bit more. The other thing that they could be doing is putting actual player packs behind this. So WWE and 2K could actually be introducing the player cards and unlocking the actual card packs within the game itself. This is very popular across sports franchises to be able to unlock this. We see this in MLB The Show, we see this in NBA, and it's not a terrible thing. People like to be able to collect the virtual cards. They like to be able to do that, maybe build out the kind of a Legends roster. There are ways that they can do this to make it work, and we'll talk about it in a later episode. The other thing that NBA 2K writes on their page regarding virtual currency is the following. Virtual currency is spent within the game store on things like, to name a few items, My Player attributes, virtual goods such as uniforms and equipment, apparel, and animation packages that grant your character new moves to perform. That's on the NBA side. And again, you could almost take that and you could just put it in WWE 2K, right? And it would kind of make total sense. Especially if we look at things like the GM mode, the rumor GM mode that is potentially coming out. If you integrate virtual currency into the GM mode, you can see things like using virtual currency to buy things like equipment for your shows, apparel, goods, services, maybe using it to afford bigger contracts for superstars. Additional things like move sets, being able to unlock different actual outfits. And I think that would be a big one that we'll talk about later too, is utilizing virtual currency for things like alternative attires and different arenas. If 2K is going to scrap the traditional DLC model, they could very easily swing over and do the virtual currency model, in my opinion. I'm not saying this is good. I'm not saying it's bad. We have to wait and see and how it actually all shakes up. It does really feel like they are going down this path to mimic that of NBA, because they already have the infrastructure there. They know how to build that out. And frankly, as much as we may not like virtual currency, we may not like microtransactions in our video games, they make money and they make enough revenue for places like 2K, and people buy into it. People buy player packs and they want to build up their future franchise stars and things like that. We have to see what the pricing is actually going to break down to, but you all let me know in the comments below. What do you think about having VC in 2K22? I'm really curious. Tell me in the comments below so we can go and have a discussion about this. If you guys enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and click on this one right here. More WWE 2K22 coverage, and we're going to talk more about virtual currency and microtransactions in our next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.